Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the AllfaxN.Oslack Saints podcast and happy Thanksgiving. Thank y'all for tuning in on today. Even if y'all not tuning in on today or another day, it's Thanksgiving while I'm recording this. So happy Thanksgiving to y'all, to my family, friends, loved ones, and to whoever who subscribed and who's not subscribed. If you're not, you should. Um, Thank y'all for watching this and listening to me and lending me y'all ear. Today's episode, we're discussing a win. Yes, a rare win. 11 weeks into the season, and we only have 4 of them. So we got to be thankful for the ones we have. So, Saints fans, if you're not thankful for anything else, the last thing you've seen from the team is a win. So, um, just to get straight to it, the main thing I was going to be looking at for this week, even if we didn't win the game, I was looking at body language heavily. I was looking at if they were going to fight for the coach. I was looking at if they were going to phone it in. And honestly, I wouldn't have been mad if they phoned it in. Because the things that's transpired throughout the season, without me trying to go into depth, if you just go back, watch my other videos, it's been kind of depressing. It's been kind of, underwhelming. And it's not what us as fans, and I'm pretty sure those guys as players weren't expecting. But with the division being so bad and the NFC being not good at all, there's still chances to do things. I'm not going to say these things because I don't want to give no false hope on anything. And the way the season is going, you're just happy to get a win. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like bittersweet, where like it's fucked up because it's like, man, you always want your team to like push for those playoffs and Super Bowl aspirations. But, we know what the team is at this point. And the way I look at it is I'm not looking to see for like, man, we're trying to push for a playoff wins. We got to win, we got to win, we got to win. It's almost like I'm just trying to see the growth of the team, the young talent of the team, and the future of the team. And if a win comes in the process, you know what I mean? That's the icing on the cake. But you can't be disappointed. You can't be hurt if you don't have big expectations like that. I suggest anybody who has any big expectations of the team right now, you should lower it, and it'll be less stressful, and you'll probably enjoy watching the games more. But again, I was pretty much paying attention heavily to how this team was gonna like play after all the stuff came out, what Jameis was saying, and like you know how the team was kind of like all these injuries and everybody's coming at the coaching staff, which is rightfully so, and how we losing to some of these games on these back-to-back losses. It was real interesting on seeing if the energy was still going to be there and things like that, and it still was there. Albeit it was against the Rams. The Rams aren't a good team. The Rams are a team Super Bowl hangover. I mean, these guys, man, they haven't woken up yet. They sleeping under the Claiborne, I'm about to say Claiborne Bridge, but they sleeping under the bridge somewhere. In downtown LA. They still drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like they hung over. They are not doing good right now. And so you got two not good teams, bad teams who are just underwhelming. Somebody has to win. But it was entertaining. It wasn't like just like one of these boring wins, boring losses, boring games. You actually saw the offense do different things. We get on Pete Carmichael, we get on Dennis Allen for not doing good, not coaching up a good game. But with 3 offensive linemen out, starting offensive linemen out, with Eric McCoy being out, James Hurst, he's actually a backup. But he's been taking the starter role since Trevor Penning has been hurt. And friggin' who was it? Landon Young and Kelvin Throckmorton. You know what I'm saying? Eric McCoy, Landon Young, and Kelvin Throckmorton are 3 backup linemen. And we had our 2 starters, Cesar Ruiz, and who's really one of the most improved players this year, and our right tackle, Ryan Ramczyk, Pro Bowl right tackle. They handled up on him, man. Like, that was the thing I was looking for. Aaron Donald, to just tee off, on those young guys, on that young offensive line. with all those backups, but they held their own, man. Aaron Donald, 2 tackles, I think 4 tackles. You know what I mean? 2 tackles and 2 assisted, but I don't think he registered a sack. You know what I mean? Bobby Wagner may have had 8, but I don't think that was like really QB pressure. I think that was just like on runs. You know what I mean? But they held their own, bro. So that they did real good that game. Friggin', we get down to some of the statistics. You know what I'm saying? Just to get into the game a little bit. Andy Dalton, 21 to 25, 84 completion percentage, 260 yards, 3 TDs. One of them to Jarvis, one of them to Chris Olave on a 52-yard bomb. And I mean, he had that boy Jalen Ramsey on skates. And soon as he locked eyes on with him, when that ball said hike, that boy said, gone. Cloud of dust. Scored on. Posterized. It was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get to more Chris Olave later. But Taysom Hill, he took a lot of snaps. He took about 3 snaps at quarterback. He had 9 rushes, and he had some snaps at receiver. He was all over the place, man. And no shade at Andy Dalton. He played a great game. But the recipe to us winning these games is a lot of Taysom Hill usage, a lot of Alvin Kamara usage, and mixing it up. Because Andy Dalton is a guy that everything has to be all right around him. He won't win you the game. He won't lose you the game. But if everything is in place, he can, the word game manager, I hate saying is thrown around so much, but that's what he is. But when everything is not perfect around you, when everything is just kind of like so, it is what it is. He's not going to win you a game. You know what I'm saying? At this stage of his career. But and then you got 12 rushes by Kamara, 12 rushes by Kamara for 42 yards, 3.5 yards a carry. Andy Dalton, 2 rushes, -2 yards, average -1 yards. Even threw David Johnson in there, the guy we elevated from the practice squad, the old Pro Bowler. You know what I mean? He used to be real good with Arizona, and he had a wrist injury, and he visited with us in the training camp this year, but we didn't really sign him. I don't know why. I think they was talking about he didn't pass a physical, or they couldn't come up to contract agreement, or whatever. But he's back. To give Alvin Kamara a little bit of rest, so he could take a few reps. But in the receiving, man, Chris Olave, 6 targets, 5 receptions, 102 yards, average 20.4 yards, and a touchdown. Kamara, 5 targets, 4 catches for 47 yards, average 11.8 yards. Juwan Johnson, 4 targets, 3 catches, 47 yards, and a touchdown. Jarvis Landry, 4 targets, 3 catches, 33 yards, and a touchdown. And then you got 3 catches by Troutman, 12 yards. Taysom Hill has a catch. Rashid Shaheed has a catch. Callaway has a catch. Will Lutz, 2 for 2 on field goals. So the offense was pretty damn good this week, man. And again, Jarvis Landry back, that helped. You know what I mean? First game back, second game back, I believe. Yeah, he gets a touchdown. His first game was with Pittsburgh. But and then you look at the defense. The defense played okay today. We do better against quarterbacks, again, who's not really mobile, so we kind of did all right against Stafford, even though he had 2 touchdowns in the first half. But defense held their own, man. The stars of the day on defense, is Kaden Ellis, man. Kaden Ellis, Onyemata, he had 3 tackles. Well, he had 5 tackles. Granderson, he had 7 tackles, a sack and a half. Kaden Ellis, sack and a half. Adebo, 5 tackles. Alante Taylor, 4 tackles in the pass breakup. Chris Harris Jr., this guy was on his couch maybe, 3 weeks ago? You know what I'm saying? About a month ago. And, we know he's older. He got beat on that play with from your boy from the Rams. I forgot his name. Tutu something, man. But he burnt him. But it is what it is. A man's 33, 34. that's gonna happen. I don't care if he gets burnt like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the dude plays solid. Majority of the game he's been playing solid the past couple of weeks, and I don't actually mind re-signing him again. To another 1 year deal if he decides to stay. But David Onyemata, 5 tackles. Honey Badger, 6 tackles. Man of God, 5 tackles. D Davis, that's what I refer to as man of God, and half a sack. D Davis has a career total. Like I think the most sacks he had in the season was 5. Right now he has 6.5. So he's on pace to like maybe have double-digit sacks. So you know that guy's awesome. I'm glad we have him as a veteran presence, and he reminds me of like a that old journeyman, bruh, who still is just better with time. And the people who come up under him, he raised them right. That's what we see. That's how I kind of refer to it in the trade. Like when you come up under a guy, a journeyman that you work with a lot, like they kind of like raise you. You know what I'm saying? And look at his apprentices. Pete Werner, 2nd-year guy. This dude missed 2 games. Is leading the team and still leading the team in tackles. 2nd-year guy out of Ohio State. And then this guy, Kaden Ellis, man. Kaden fucking Ellis, bro. Kaden Ellis, drafted in 2019, 7th-round pick. You know what I'm saying? One of 12 kids. He has 12. He has 12 siblings, and he's a son of Luther Ellis, a former defensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? And his rookie year, he was placed on IR with a knee injury, so he couldn't really play. And then in 2020, he was placed on the COVID reserve list. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of been like kind of plagued with injuries back and forth. Along with you still had Quan Alexander on the team, so he really didn't have no time to shine. But he's always played here and he always flashed. They always talked about him in camp. Really good player, man. Again, this dude's not replacing Pete Warner, what I'm saying, but I'm talking about we could have these guys together. Within the past 2 weeks, he's accumulated 17 sacks. I mean, I wish 17 tackles, a sack and a half. Let me see, about 17 tackles, 17 tackles, 21 yards for loss, a fumble, and a pass deflect, and I think he has like a sack and a half, man. The way this guy's playing, he's all over the field, he's flying around. There's no reason when Pete Warner gets back, there's no reason that we should not run like a 4-3. That dude needs to be on the field at all times with Pete Warner and D Davis. Like, with the inconsistencies at the nickel position, with injuries, because of injuries this year, like, this dude is just pinning his ears back. He's a smaller kind of guy. He's a QB kind of like sack specialist. He's a real pass rusher. You know what I mean? And I really would like to see this guy on the field more. And what else? So he's a real bright spot, man. I think we have a bright future at linebacker. So whenever D Davis decides to hang it up, if 2 games and it was against Pittsburgh and against Rams, right? I get it, not too much good teams, but if he can replicate this week against San Francisco, we got something, man. We need to start running 3 linebackers. But let's talk about Chris Olave for a little bit, man. This guy is so special. He's rare, sensational, mind-bending, remarkable. This guy is worth the price of admission. I am so happy we drafted this guy. We wanted him to be an addition, but right now he's the main focus because Michael Thomas is hurt. Jarvis Landry has only played, I think maybe 5 games now. And he's been the main production at wide receiver. Chris Olave, currently ninth in receiving yards in the NFL, not just rookies. Currently on pace to have the most 100-yard receiving games for Saints rookies in history. The most is 2006, Marcus Colston. He had 4. Michael Thomas in 2016, he had 3. And 2022, right now, Chris Olave has 3 100-yard games, and we still have 6 games left. He's definitely breaking that. Chris Olave is, amongst rookies, 51 catches, he's number 1. 760 yards, he's number 1. 34 catches for first downs. 15 catches for 15 plus yards or more, 263 yards on throws, 20 plus yards down the field, and 3 touchdowns. This guy's special, man, and he's like going back and forth, number 2, 3 in rookie of the year, going back and forth with like Sauce Gardner and Kenneth Walker, the running back from Seattle Seahawks. So these guys are real special. And again, man, Andy Dalton, he does good when everything else is doing good around him. You know what I'm saying? The quarterback of the future is not in that building. I look at this team. They look really special. You can see the future. You can see the talent. Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson, this guy, we drafted this guy. He's an undrafted free agent 2020. You know what I'm saying? This dude got cut in 2020. We put him back on the practice squad the next day after he was cut. We activated him out the practice squad for about 4 or 5 games back and forth. And then the same year, we put him on the team. He's a converted wide receiver. He's a wide receiver converted to tight end. He's worked on his blocking. His catching was already good. And right now, he's leading the team in receiving touchdowns. 5 touchdowns, 349 yards. He's actually the best tight end in the NFC South right now. Cameron Brate, 122 yards, 0 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts, 356 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Tommy Tremble from Carolina, 2 touchdowns, 99 yards. This dude is, look, he showed me, I seen from way last year. You know what I'm saying? He showed me he could be tight end 1. We drafted Troutman the same year we got this guy as an undrafted free agent. We drafted Troutman to be a guy like this. But, he's not turned out to be like that right now, but he's becoming serviceable. But Juwan Johnson has a future with this team. And, he is tight end 1. You know what I'm saying? He's tight end 1, and we should kind of move on with him. He's real special. This guy is hungry. He fights. He fights. And this dude's humble, man. He's one of the people, like, during the COVID year when the people who worked there were used to pick up all the tapes, the body tape and all that stuff off the players, that the players wear during the game. He would help those people. This guy's real humble, a real easy guy to root for. So, like I said, real good team win. I'm excited to see what happens this week. Hopefully we can get a win. If not, I just want to see our guys ball out. But Sean Payton has announced that he's looking at the Chargers and the Cardinals. Hopefully we could get that first-round pick back from one of those teams, and we get our quarterback of the draft. Again, y'all enjoy y'all Thanksgiving. I'm gonna try to come with a double feature today with a guest from the 49ers, and we kind of do like a collabo, like brother-in-law of mine. So hopefully that happens. Y'all have a good day. Peace.